Thank you all for joining us today. We are here to talk to you about teen pregnancy, which we feel is an important problem in our community and on campus in general. And United Action for Youth is the solution we are proposing to you because we feel it is a very important institution in Iowa City that can help this problem. And I'm Haley.
I'm Zach.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Dustin.
So, like she said, what is the need in Iowa City community? We are focusing on helping teen parents maintain resources for their children, and also not just for their children, but also prenatal services and stuff like that. The University of Iowa does offer a child care subsidy package, but in order to get that you have to apply in August, and so there are not a lot of people who apply right away because it's really not a well-known resource here on campus. And so grant funding is not offered any other time throughout the year, and it is a large, sufficient amount of money, and so we want to focus on that. And this is a community need because there are 22,354 undergraduate students here on campus, and 51% of them are women. So why is teen pregnancy important in this college community? Fewer than 2% of teen mothers finish college by the age of 30, which is a staggering number, and this average salary of teen parent dropouts is actually $30,000, which is why 48% of teen mothers live below the poverty line, and which obviously this is an issue because they have to provide for their children, and this leads to larger numbers in adoption rates. These mothers are students, classmates, and community members here on campus, and so we cannot overlook this problem anymore.
Alright, so our mission to help United Action for Youth is to raise awareness and increase funding to provide grants for the teen parents without the resources that they need to support themselves and their children.
Okay, so why is this important to our community? Well, in national terms, the U.S. does actually have the highest teenage birth rate in the industrialized world, and it's still on the rise, actually. And in Iowa alone, in 2013, there were over 2,200 births to teenage mothers, and that equates to about 40 per 1,000 females in the 18 to 19-year-old age range, which, as Whitney said earlier, is a very, very predominant age range in the Iowa City community. And it also affects outside of the Iowa City community as well, because it does cost taxpayers money when teenagers have children, and it actually cost in 2010 $85 million alone. And although Iowa actually does rank 17th in the country in terms of our teenage birth rate, it just emphasizes how big of a problem this has become in America, because we still allocate a large amount of our taxpayer money to teenage childbearing.
Alright, so what exactly is United Action for Youth? United Action for Youth is an organization that gives back and supports the disadvantaged youths. It's not only for teen pregnancies, but it also helps the kids after the teen pregnancy is done. It'll do clothing drives and bike giveaways and counseling services for the kids. But today we're mostly going to be focusing on the parents from the teen pregnancies.
Right, and like Dustin was mentioning, the services that are provided for kids are to like the Iowa City junior highs and high schools, but what we're focusing on today is the services that they provide to teen parents and their children. So those services include things before the baby is born, like prenatal care, a lot of development screenings, and classes on how to raise a newborn. And then once the baby is born, they still supply grant funding if they qualify for it, and if they have enough money to give it to enough people, and also classes such as nutrition and how to raise a child. And they also provide a lot of resources besides money to these parents and their children.
So in order to get these services, they need to be covered by insurance. There are several insurance companies that cover and work with United Action for Youth, such as Blue Cross Blue Shield, Hawkeye Wellmark Health Plan, Title IX, Iowa Medicaid, and like I said earlier, there is some grant funding available for families without resources or without insurance coverage. But like I said earlier, you have to apply in August, and the application process is really is difficult in order to get these because there are so many people applying for this, and so we want to raise awareness for this problem here in Iowa City and raise more money so more grant funding is available to be given out, and also so it can be given out throughout the year and not just in August.
So why are we talking to you about the United Action for Youth and what do we want you to do? Well, United Action for Youth actually runs entirely on the generosity of people in the community. So anything that we can do to help them just further enables them to help people in our community. They need all the donations they can get since they do run entirely on the community's generosity. So they'll accept your time, money, resources, anything that you can give them to help. And they also advocate for student organizations to help them out as well.
So, like an example for this is I'm in a sorority here on campus, and during the month of October, one of our chapter meetings, we had the option of dressing down or dressing informally, and you just had to pay $2. And so we actually ended up raising over $250, and we gave that money to breast cancer awareness for the month of October. And so we want to get this issue out there, and we know like several of you guys are involved in student orgs here on campus, and you guys can do just a simple thing of dressing down at your business fraternity meetings or something like that, and donating that money towards United Action for Youth, so then they can put that money towards grant funding for the rest of the year, like we said earlier.
And I'm also in a sorority, and you don't have to have just monetary donations as well. At our chapter meeting, our president just told us all to take our socks off, and we had to give them to her so she could wash and give it to a clothing drive. So simple things like that, which was kind of a strange chapter meeting, but but simple things to donate, not just money, but your time, resources, and anything else of the nature. But this also can relate to businesses, because we do have a lot of businesses in the Iowa City community as well. And for example, a really fun way to raise money for a cause is that No Shave November is a big thing. And at my little brother's junior high school, there's a kid who was suffering from childhood cancer, and all the male teachers participated in No Shave November, and to vote on the best beard, you had to donate $1 or more if you'd like. And all the teachers got really into it, and they actually ended up raising over $1,000 for this cause, which is incredible. And if you can only imagine what a huge business corporation can do, with the amount of people that are employed there, if everyone participates in No Shave November and a little fun voting like that to raise money for a cause that's very close to the Iowa City community.
Right. As Zach was saying before, they obviously accept monetary donations, and your volunteering time is greatly appreciated by the organization. They also accept basic supplies, books, clothes, art supplies, paper, and recycled materials.
And the reason we want all of you to get involved is because a national poll was taken, and 86% of you and all American citizens agree that helping the teen pregnancy situation will reduce the high school and college dropout rate. And since 86% of us agree on that, it should just be put into action. And there are many ways to put this into action. Some of the best are, like we've discussed before, raising the grant funding money, but more importantly, you can actually see real impact. Seeing like teen mothers graduate, get a degree to further support their own children and the Iowa City community by being contributing members to society is a great feeling and a great thing for the community in general. In addition, it also puts money back in your taxpayer pockets, because all of these taxes are coming out, and like Zach was saying, $85 million is spent to support teen parents and all the financial aid that they require to raise a child and go through a teen pregnancy situation. So if we do our part in helping the United Action for Youth and the teen pregnancy situation in Iowa City, we would greatly reduce this rate of dropouts and the poverty of all teen parents here in the community. And we thank you for your time and open the floor to any further questions.
Questions? All right. Thanks a lot. Watch out for the cord there. Watch out for the cords. Your cords anyway. Again, take time to do the evaluations.